The Binhoboard is a tabletop game based on soccer, or football, as I'm told it's called in foreign places. Anyways, the tabletop game features a turf board with 2 nets, 4 bands that are supported by easy to install screws. It also has 20 player pins that make it look like 2 teams are really taking the field against each other, and it also makes it harder to score goals. It's a lot harder than it looks, trust me, after breaking it out and setting it up. It's very easy to set up, might I add. It took about like 5 minutes. We got it set up, started playing, and we quickly realized that, well, it's a good challenge. But like any game, it's going to take some time to learn. The rules are fairly simple. The game is first to 7. Teams alternate shots where the ball comes to a complete stop. In order for it to be a goal, the ball must completely cross the goal line, and if it goes in and bounces out, it is still a goal. If that's not enough of a challenge for you, you will be penalized with yellow and red cards depending upon where you are on the field when you commit the penalty and what type of penalty it is. A yellow card results in the opposing team kicking off from midfield, and a red card results in the opposing team essentially having a pool scratch. They can put the ball anywhere behind the midline, and you have to remove a player decided by a coin flip. I thoroughly enjoy the Binhoboard. Personally, I find everyone that comes to play me for the first time ends up sitting down. They intend on playing a game or two, and we end up running it back over and over again for hours, like we're kids playing Call of Duty again on a console. Likewise, I find myself doing the same when I walk by the board. I'll stand there, fuck around with it for like 10, 20 minutes, and then realize that I need to go and get productive again. It's not the easiest game to master, but the key is to learn the technique, and that comes with time, like I said. And setup is quick and easy. Games get real intense, are very fun, and occasionally get a bit lengthy just because it is first to 7, and when you start playing, you are not very good. A few issues I have with the game is flicking the marble long enough will compel you to stop. It leaves you with the same sensation that you had in your finger when you were a child after you just try to flick it as hard as you can. It's really not the best strategy in the game, as you can take the same shot twice and you will never get the same result. I swear. Sometimes it just feels like the luck of the bounce, and sometimes there's definitely skill involved. And like I said, it's all about your technique. But you can take the same shot as your opponent, or you can, like I said, you can put the ball in the same place, same power, same target, and it'll go 2 different ways. And it's nice because you'll never have the same outcome in any game, but it does get a little frustrating sometimes. I do feel like the board is a little bit crowded. Trying to get out of your own zone sometimes is a definite that someone's going to have an own goal almost every match, sometimes multiple, and it'll keep your opponent in the game. And like I said, it is nice that it keeps the competitiveness up, but when you're scoring on yourself and your opponent has not even scored a goal yet, it gets really frustrating. I'm not sure how you would fix this from a design perspective, perhaps making the board like literally an inch wider and just moving those pins out like literally by like hairs. But I don't know. I'm not the game designer, and I've only been playing for about 2 weeks. So, in conclusion, I think the Binhoboard is a great game. It's perfect to sit down, play with friends. You can smoke, have a drink, whatever. We played a game the other night where when each team scored, we would each hit the bong. So we essentially were playing it like Pong. And it could definitely be a contender at a party game. I could totally see this being a rival to Pong. It's much smaller, easier to pack and be mobile with. And honestly, it's a lot more fun. I enjoy the fact that you can customize the board with bands, sets, and pins. You can also literally buy a custom board if you're willing to spend the money. So I would say that the $100 to $200 that this board is worth, it's definitely worth the buy.